Hey there, friends. So about a year and a half ago, probably not that long, but a while ago, I built this loop and then I let it run for well over a year with the fluid that I had in there. Primo Chill View, I think it was. Anyways, there's a clear UV green that has clogged my GPU, this GPU, so that it's 20 degrees hotter than this one. And then about a month ago, I was looking on just up at this one, and I could see like some orange growth like somewhere inside the water block, and I was just like, oh, that's bad. So I've got to take this whole thing apart and clean everything. So I'm actually going to be switching back to air cooling so that I can get this back up and running beforehand. And I don't plan on water cooling this again until the next series of GPUs come out, because I personally don't think it's worth it to go through all the effort to clean this, put it all together and all that and whatnot, just to do it all again in a couple of months when the new GPUs come out. So that's why I'm going to switch back to air cooling. And I'm going to be delighting the 7700K that's sitting inside there, so the temps should fall back down to a fairly decent range with the Kraken X61 that I'm going to be throwing in there as well. So let's go ahead and start diving into this, cleaning it out, draining it, etc., etc. Okay, so I have finished dusting and draining my loop, and you can see, or you should be able to see, that most of these are completely drained. I'll zoom in, hopefully that helps. But if you can't tell, you'll just have to take my word for it. They're fairly empty. Now, what I did was I opened up the drain valve along with a valve on top of the reservoir, and then drained it into that bucket like you saw. And then I took it out to my garage where my air compressor is, and then hooked my air compressor up to right here, and then opened up my drain valve all the way and just blew air all the way through my system. And I laid it down on the sides to try and help get water through it. But I blasted out a whole bunch of water, and from what I can tell, the pipes and everything are pretty well drained. Now, I did see a little bit of water still stuck, up specifically in here and probably inside my CPU water block, but there should be almost no drippage when I actually take apart everything. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on doing that now. Okay, so I've just finished cleaning or tearing apart my PC. There's all that's left. Now, I've got to take out the motherboard so I can take a closer look at these guys and see how bad the dirt is inside of it and possibly clean it. I'm really not sure how you clean these, but I've got to dive into that to take a closer look. And then here's the rest of the water cooling stuff: fans, power supplies, cables, radiators. And then here's the components that were inside of it. So if we look at the pump, it's really not too bad. When I open that up, I don't expect to find much gunk inside of there. If we look at the bottom GPU, like I told you earlier, this was getting 20 degrees hotter than the top one. Or sorry, not 20 degrees hotter, it was 20 degrees cooler. And there's a little bit of deposits or nastiness that was happening on the fins right here, but it looks like water could still get through it for the most part. So I don't think it was hurting the cooling on this much, if at all. But if we switch up to the top GPU, it got really bad. Like, there's a lot of stuff on those fins. Like, water was not getting through there well. It looked like just on the outsides where it was picking up the heat, or where the water could go through. The rest of it looks okay, but those fins are gross. And here's the CPU water block. It looks used, but it doesn't look too bad. I don't expect to find much when I go in there. It wasn't getting much hotter than anything else when I was running it. Or at least hotter than normal. It was as hot as it always was. And then here's the pipes. They were fine. However, I had a casualty. This piece broke, and it was one of my angled pieces, so I've only got one more angled piece that I could cut to fit into here. So I don't know how that's going to work out when if I actually put it all back together how it was. But I don't really know why it broke. It was in the reservoir. It really wasn't tough to undo, but when I was undoing this piece right here, it broke, or was broken rather said. And then if we look at kind of the end of this piece, there's a little bit of dye at the end of it where it was deposited. But my temperature sensor right here, it was really disgusting. It had a bunch of black stuff on it, and you can still kind of see that stuff on there. I started cleaning it off and realized that I should show you guys, but this is where it was. And these tubes were in the basement of the case, and these are plastic, and they've clearly dyed and changed colors with the fluid that I had in there, and it got really gross. This is the cap, and it's got the cap for right here. And it's definitely got some growth or something going on with it. And that kind of surprises me because I always had this shut, so there really wasn't ever any water there, but something was happening with it. And then this is the piece that was connecting the two GPUs. It really doesn't look too bad. It looks fairly clean. So that shouldn't be too bad. And one last shot. There's all the pieces. Alright, so what have I learned about this? If you're going to water cool, especially if you're going to leave your system on 24/7, clean or change your water often. Don't leave it in there for a very long time. I left it in there for over a year before I changed the water, and by that time it was too late. It already clogged one of my GPU blocks, and looks like I was starting to clog the other one, and things just went downhill from there. I mean, everything got gross. Maybe I've ruined a few things. I don't know. I'm gonna clean those things off camera. I don't think that's gonna be very interesting, and Some, if not a lot of it's probably not going back into the system. It's definitely not going to go back into the system when I put it all back together. It might go back in when I actually upgrade my GPUs, but we'll see. I hope you guys found this helpful. I'm actually really disappointed in myself that I ruined or let my stuff go so bad, or get so bad in my system, but say la vie, I guess. I really appreciate you guys watching this. If you liked it, go ahead and smash that like button. If you want to see more of my stuff and be one of my subscribers, please hit that subscribe button down below. I could use the subscribers. And I'll catch you next time, guys.